Okay, episode 4 of my net worth journey, and the first one for 2025. Let's check where my net worth is as at the middle of January. I've gone through a rundown of my reasoning for including the assets and liabilities I've included in the first video in this series, as I include a few items that some don't, but these don't make up the large majority of my assets anyway. So let's see where I'm at. We start off with, as always, the assets. Asset 1, cash. This is at $49,552.66. It's down from last month, despite the fact I worked for the entire month. Why is this? Because I've had quite a few hefty payments leave my account, which I'll discuss later. I did make a bit more than expected, as mentioned in a prior video, but it still wasn't enough to get a positive value here month on month. Asset 2, $11,122.92 worth of stonks, slightly down from the prior month, but not surprising since the market had a pretty notable dip around late December/early Jan. Asset 3, $2,093.32 worth of crypto, hovering around the same value as last month. The Bitcoin rally has somewhat stalled out. Asset 4, punting/sports betting. This account is at $0. The reason is they've refunded my entire account since I got locked out because they needed some documents to verify my identity. So they gave me this money back in cash. Once I'm verified, I might chuck $150 to $200 back into the account to play with, but for now, I have nothing to gamble with. Asset 5, superannuation/my retirement account, $62,728.36, slightly up from the prior month. There was some funds from my employer injected into this, but mostly the market dragged this figure lower than what it otherwise would have been. Asset 6, the value of my real estate, $386,701.05. Why did this figure go up from the prior month? Because I've since paid a 5% deposit to my home builder. Some may not include this in your net worth, but I do. I'll slowly increase the value of this as I pay my builder more and more as they progress with building my house, since otherwise I'll have a lowish net worth, and when the house is built, then the net worth will just suddenly skyrocket. Whereas slowly trickling in the value of my home as it progresses helps this value slowly drip up, rather than having a sudden spike. Either way, this real estate value has gone up, and in exchange, the amount of cash in my bank has gone down. Asset 7, business/brand, $510. I've slightly increased the total value due to the extra subscribers and ad revenue since last time. Some of my recent videos have had a bit of popularity in the algorithm, despite the fact that some people really didn't like the recent videos, but as a result, I got ad revenue and some extra subscriber growth, so I'll take it. Asset 8, miscellaneous items and collectibles, $4,100. The reason this has gone up is because of a new iPhone that I recently purchased. My current one is doing that annoying thing where it says the storage is always full, so then you delete stuff to make room, but the storage is still full. Or like deleting some apps to free up space. Oh, whoops, the storage is still full. Okay, well, let me get those apps back then. Oh, wait, can't do that, storage is full. So I valued it and some phone cases at $300. I got it for cheaper because I found a good deal, but phone case and new iPhone at a value of $300 is fair in my opinion. I've also got a few other items lately, but let's keep it simple for now. I can revalue everything at another time if I can be bothered. Asset 9, vehicle, my car, $7,400. Cars depreciate, but it probably hasn't gone down that much since I last checked. When your car is as old/used up as mine, there isn't much of a difference between an extra month and several hundred kilometers added on the odometer. So tallying up all my assets, we get a grand total of $524,208.31 in assets. More than $500,000. Hell yeah. But we're not done. We haven't included the liabilities, the outflow of economic resources. Oh my god, ick. It gives me the ick. So we start off with liability 1, credit card. This has a $0 balance since I have no credit card. I just add this here to show you that I have no credit card. I may get one in the future, since I know there's some benefits you can get, providing you pay it off in time, but for now, we have no credit card. Liability 2, car loan, $0. Another one I just show to say I have no car loan amount, since I know a lot of others do. I bought my car outright back in 2021 for around 13 grand. Liability 3, student debt, valued at $42,296.55. If only this was blank like the other two liabilities. The amount hasn't changed since last time, no repayments since my money is better utilized elsewhere, and the interest amounts on student debt aren't debilitating here in Australia like they are in the United States. Liability 4, tax debt, $7,566.67. Basically, the way I'm taxed at my jobs means I pay slightly more than I should at the office, but nowhere near as much at the supermarket. And this, combined with the way we repay our student debt in Australia, means I always have a tax bill at the end of each financial year, which is fine. I'm basically borrowing money from the government each week. That money can be used for investments/savings, and I pay them back once a year. Works out well, rather than only getting all your money back all at once per year. The money you have in the meantime can be used for good money-making opportunities, such as gambling on an election and making more than $3,800 from it. It's harder to do this when the government has all of your spare money and only gives it back to you once per year. But anyway, I have a tax bill of more than $7,500, and I'll pay this back around March since that's when it's due. Liability 5, real estate loan, this is sitting at $194,481.19. I've made one repayment to this since I pay monthly. Some pay weekly since bank interest is calculated daily, so the more often you cut down your loan balance, the less interest you pay overall. But I have offset accounts, which basically reduce the interest amount you owe. It's just generally more beneficial to have money sitting in an offset as opposed to repaying the loan. I can talk more on this another time though. So I've paid back $1,177 so far, but my loan balance only went down by $518.81. Why? Because the rest of it was interest. Of this $1,177, $658.19 was interest. More than half of my repayment went to my bank. The remaining amount went to reducing my loan balance/home equity. Usually, your first repayment will include much more interest, but because of the 50-ish grand sitting in my offset account, my interest amount wasn't terrible. Yeah, it was still bad, but not as bad as it usually is for most people with a mortgage. The interest is going to get much, much worse though, once the next part of my loan comes in for my home, and I have less cash, as I need cash to be a further down payment for the second loan. Just watch how bad these interest payments are going to be. But we won't worry about that for now. Currently, my total liabilities amount to $244,344.41. Ouch. Now, as for my net worth, my assets of $524,208.31 take away my liabilities of $244,344.41 means my net worth is $279,863.90. Pretty good. We've had yet another increase from the prior month. You'll love to see it. My aim is to make a check-in video each month this year on my net worth to see how the money stat journey goes. The values in my real estate and mortgage will have the most changes this year for sure. So, let's see how we go. Here's to a good year of finances. Thanks for watching. That is all.